Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Leanne and this is Babybel. Today we're going to be talking to you about the things I've learned since becoming a mum. So I'm not talking about the things like how to change a nappy and how to get a sleep fighting baby to nap. I'm talking about the things that you don't expect to learn. Before we get into that, we share everything mum and baby related, so if you do enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss our future ones. So the first thing is that you learn so much about yourself. Now, I waited a really long time to have a baby. One, because I didn't meet John until I was like 32. Do you want to look? And secondly, just because I thought that I was too selfish to have a baby. And I'm really impatient as well, so I didn't think that those things would go well with being a mum. I also really enjoy my own time as well, like time for myself. I've always have done. I don't feel the need to be with people all the time. And I never really had any I didn't think I had any maternal instinct either, but it actually turns out that I'm not selfish at all. Babybel's needs tend to come before pretty much all of mine. Patience is something obviously that you have to have when you've got children. I have found that I can be really patient with Babybel. Obviously there are times when I get frustrated, especially when it comes to her not sleeping. Where have you gone? But I am actually quite patient, and I found out that I'm not selfish, and that whole maternal instinct thing that kicks in out of nowhere. So Babybel will cry, and before I even realise that I'm moving, I'm up and I've picked her up to make sure that she's okay. And you see people where they move really quick to catch their baby, stop them from falling off something, and it's that whole thing where you see them move and you just move without even thinking about it. So that maternal instinct seems to just kick in once you've had that baby. The other thing as well that I've learned about myself is just sort of thinking about how I talk to people. You start thinking about what you want your child to grow up, how do you want them to be, and it's made me start thinking about how I think about myself and how I think about others, and try to be less judgmental of people and also less judgmental of myself. Now, one thing that really highlighted this the other day was I was taking photos for our thumbnails, and we do it in this sort of setup. I took all the photos and then I realised that I didn't have our ring light on, and I was like, oh, Babybel, photos are going to look awful. And then I was like, well, not your photos, you look absolutely beautiful, but me. And then I was like, hang on a second, I can see that Babybel looks absolutely amazing. She doesn't need any improvements at all. You can't eat the microphone. So why do I feel that about myself? So that's something that I really need to consider. But wow, that got deep pretty quickly. I wasn't expecting to go quite into that much, but there we go. Uh-oh, balls on the floor. The next thing is the love that you feel for your child. It cannot be described. And you hear all of the time about people saying, they had their baby and instantly they just love them. And I think the thing that's not talked about enough is that it isn't always like that. And when Babybel was born, I didn't feel anything at all. I was so ill, I had no idea what was going on. I had no feelings about anything at all. And I don't know when that feeling kicked in, but one day there was nothing there, and the next day it was just huge. And now, you look at your child, we look at her daily, and it's just like, she's absolutely amazing, and that love is there and it is indescribable. Being a parent is a full-time job. It completely takes over your life. It's so difficult to explain, but obviously, as they get older, they probably need you less and they need you in different ways. But in those first few months, everything is just about that baby, and it's so difficult to remember that you need to do stuff for you. And I talked about that in our self-care tips for new mum video, but it is amazing how you spend so much time feeding your baby, getting them to sleep, snuggling them, making sure that they're happy, making sure that they're clean, making sure that they're entertained. And feeding a baby is hard, no matter what way you do it. You can't have that. Feeding a baby is hard, no matter what way you choose to do it, or if it doesn't work out that you do it how you chose to do it. It is hard. If you're breastfeeding, you are responsible. You are that one person that's responsible. If you're pumping, that comes with a whole different set of problems. And if you're formula feeding, although the onus isn't just on you, other people can help. It's difficult. It's time consuming. You've got to make up the bottles, you've got to let them cool down, you've got to wash stuff, you've got to sterilise. It is feeding your child is hard, and then you come to weaning and that's just like a whole different thing. Although it's exciting watching them, again, it's, you know, you've got to make sure that they're having a balanced diet, you've got the worries about choking and everything. So actually being responsible for feeding a child it's huge. It's a really big thing. And breastfeeding on its own is a full-time job. I saw something the other day that said exclusively breastfeeding for like the first year, obviously weaning at 6 months, works out at about 1,800 hours over a year, and a full-time job with 4 weeks holidays like 1,900 hours or something like that. So breastfeeding on its own is just a full-time job. You may become obsessed with sleep. So obviously, to start with, you know that babies don't sleep through the night. They're expected to wake up, and for some reason our society makes us think that once they get to a certain age, like 12 weeks or whatever, then suddenly they'll start sleeping through the night. That's not true. If your baby does do that, then, you know, that's fantastic, but babies aren't designed to sleep through the night, and you find yourself becoming obsessed with sleep. Like, I thought I was tired before I had a baby. We then hit the 4-month sleep regression, and I have not known tiredness like it. It is ridiculous. And they say sleep when the baby sleeps, and I know a lot of people say that they can't do that. For me, that is the only way I have survived it. I have napped when Babybel naps, and even now at 11 months old, I will sometimes nap with her in the afternoon. And I say sometimes, that's probably like 2 or 3 times a week, just to try and catch up on that sleep that I've missed over the last 11 months. And obviously when she's going through a difficult bit with her sleep, like last night, it was terrible. She was awake between 1 and half 3. I can't remember what it's like to have a full night's sleep. And then some things that you thought were important before suddenly lose how important they were. I was really into exercise. It's my job. I would go to the gym 5-6 times a week. I wouldn't say I was obsessed with having a really good body. I wasn't obsessed, but I always kept myself like I kept myself fit and made sure that I didn't put on too much weight. And these days, you can't have that. These days it's not as important to me. I mean, trying to find the time to actually go to the gym during the week when John is at work, that doesn't happen. There's other reasons as well. I haven't been able to do what I used to do, but it's just not as important to me. You know, I'm not into needing my body to look a certain way because of everything it's gone through. Yes, that's you. Going out used to be really important to me. You know, I'd like to go down the pub and have a couple of drinks. Even though I'm getting on a bit, I still did enjoy occasionally going out clubbing, going out meeting friends, and just, you know, going to concerts and stuff. But at the moment, it isn't as important to me. Now, obviously, Babybel is only going to be this young once, and I can go back to, you know, going out and everything once she doesn't need me as much. You are a crazy baby. This one is my priority right now. She's trying to grab the tripod again. And same with the housework as well. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to live in a dirty house or anything like that, but, you know, there seems to be that pressure to get everything done. You are crazy. And the housework can wait, you know. As long as you're not living in absolute filth and you've got cockroaches running around, then housework isn't the be all and end all. I mean, I'm just looking around at the living room now, and we've got like a big pile of Babybel's toys over there. They could probably be tidied away, but they're not affecting anything that I'm doing. So it's that shift in perception. You know, everything's clean, but I'm not that worried about it. Everyone has opinions on your parenting. Everyone. Anything that you do, if you do something that's, you know, slightly different to the societal norm, everybody's got an opinion on that, you know, from your family, your friends, your health visitor. I think the most important thing that I've learned is to trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. And that's how I'm going. How is that? How have you got that much of a yawn? And you also get so much better about not giving a toss about other people's opinions and standing your ground. You know, someone will say something to me, and rather than being all sort of like, oh, you know, no, I don't want to do it, you know, and give a reason why, I'm just like, no, I'm not going to explain myself to you. It's just, no, that's my decision. And you do become so much better at that. I've also learned that things don't go to plan, so I always like to have an idea of like what's happening, kind of be a little bit organised and plan stuff out. And since having a baby, I've learned that none of that goes to plan. I've always liked being on time. I hated being late. I am now probably on time like once out of every 10 times that I need to go somewhere. Obviously my pregnancy didn't go to plan, my labour didn't go to plan, breastfeeding didn't go to plan, and I have talked about all of those in videos, and I'll link those down there in case you want to see them. My postpartum recovery hasn't gone to plan, Babybel sleep hasn't gone to plan, nothing goes to plan, and I've just accepted now that I've got an idea of how I'd like stuff to be, and it's probably not going to go like that, and I just have to go with it. And that one's been quite hard to get my head around as well. Okay, the next thing I've noticed is that you get covered in like everything that you can think of, and you don't even bat an eyelid about it. So I used to spill a bit of food down myself, and you're waving to yourself, and I'd have to go and get changed. Now I get covered in everything, and I've actually just noticed, I don't think you can see it, but I've got Babybel's lunch on me. So normally I'd be like, oh God, I need to go and get changed, but that it is what it is now. And I mean, I've been covered in everything you can think of. Her blood, bogies, she's pooed on me. I quite often get my own boob milk cough back into my face, sick, anything you can think of, I've been covered on it, and it's just like, oh, whatever, you know. It's probably a bit gross actually, but if I got changed every time that I got covered in something that Babybel had done, I'd probably just run out of clothes completely. Your baby will appreciate everything you do, and it's just so nice to see like that look of appreciation in their eyes. She's running away from me and looking around because I'm not chasing her. They appreciate everything that you do. Babybel absolutely loves my singing, and I think she is probably the only person in the entire world who does. Now I'm sure as she gets older that will change. Get off the tripod. She'll probably absolutely hate my singing, but it is just so nice to have somebody that doesn't judge you at all. And my last thing is, and you'll hear people say this all the time, it goes so quickly. I mean, Babybel's 11 months old, and it's, you know, it's just flown by. It's scary how quickly the time is going. Like every day just passes by so quickly, and they change so quickly as well, don't you? Discovering something new all the time. Take photos, take videos, film everything, and just get yourself a hard drive and back it all up on there. Just film, take photos of everything, because they change so quickly. How are you tired? You've just had a 2-hour nap. That's everything. Well, it's not everything I've learned, but that's what I've got on this list of things that I've learned since becoming a mum. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you found, that you've learned, you know, not like I said, just the normal baby stuff, but maybe learning about you. As usual, we really hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel. It makes us really happy, and it lets YouTube know that the video is worth showing to other people. We'll see you next time. Say bye.